Hey everybody, it's Meg and I am here today to give you 3 posing tips to help you or your clients feel more comfortable and look more natural in front of the camera. So let's go ahead and dive in. My first tip is to remember that whatever is closest to the camera is always going to appear the biggest. So a lot of times I see people when they start posing and they kind of push their hips out, and a lot of people actually don't want to look bigger in like the hips, waist, stomach area. So what you want to think about is actually asking them to push those hips back and lean forward just slightly, and then it kind of narrows through the waist and the hips, and it brings more attention to their eyes and face, which is where you usually want people to be looking. My second tip is posture. And this doesn't necessarily mean just stand up straight, because when you say that to a client, a lot of times people kind of crunch up through their neck and shoulders, which is definitely the opposite of what you want. So a better way to say it is to ask them to think about having a string pull from the top of their head and just lengthening through their spine. If they're still kind of tense in their shoulders, you can just ask them to roll those shoulders down their back, and it creates a much nicer, more natural looking, but still, much better posture. And the last thing is this is a line that I always tell myself in photo shoots, which is if it bends, bend it. So a lot of times people in front of the camera will get really nervous and they have really straight arms and really straight legs. And what you want to think about is, bending at any joint that you can pretty much. So bending at the elbow, even bending at the wrist, bending at a knee, bending at the neck. All of those things are going to help create a pose that looks much more natural than being stiff as a board. Another thing that I like to think about along those same lines is what I call Disney princess arms. So if you have a client who's standing and they have super straight arms, just ask them to bend at their elbows slightly, which creates a nice shape here and actually makes most people look a bit thinner as well. But it also just looks a little bit more relaxed. And so just think of the Disney princesses who have their arms like in a perma ballerina pose. And you can just bend here. If they have pockets, that's a really easy way to kind of make it happen. But even if they don't, just have them bend at the elbow and let their arm kind of maybe hold onto their shirt, or just kind of play with their hands, or just kind of hang naturally. So those are my 3 tips today. I hope that they help you. I hope they help your clients. And please feel free to leave any comments or feedback below. And thanks so much. We'll see you next time.